Welcome to the Northern Kentucky Spotlight, where we are focusing our attention on the great things happening in Northern Kentucky, episode 37. It's a big one, and we've got a whole lot of guests coming your way. I'm Catherine Nero, your host, alongside Jeremy Schran, the Marketing and Communications Director for the Northern Kentucky Chamber. We've got a studio full times like two,
Yes.
right? Big
Yes.
ones. And we also want to thank our title sponsor, CVG, and our studio sponsor, the L&N Federal Credit Union, for all of today's fun. We are covering a lot of great topics today, and let's get a look at some of our guests. Who do we have coming up?
All right, we have Cotton Mueller and Daryl Perry and Lisa Hampton from Results Now. They're all personal trainers, and they're here to tell us how to be healthy and work out and be awesome.
Yeah, for those of you whose resolutions went by the wayside about 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
it can get you back into it.
Yes,
That's
get back
coming
on
your way.
track. Next, and then later in the show, we're going to have Nancy Grayson from the Rising Community Fund, and she's here with Jennifer Hunter. She's the director of the Nurse Advocacy Center for the Underserved at NKU.
It's a great program,
Yes.
both of them actually. So we'll
Yes.
talk about how those two work. And so, yeah, we've got a lot coming your way. First though, let's hear from L&N, and then we'll start talking about some health and wellness.
Sometimes life is hectic. Choosing a mortgage lender shouldn't be. The L&N 5-5 Mortgage offers competitive rates, no PMI, and up to 100% financing. That's a mortgage that comes with peace of mind. Whether you're purchasing a new home or refinancing, you'll feel right at home with L&N. We're local, trusted, and we'll be here for you even after your closing. Call 800-292-2905 and get started on your 5-5 mortgage. L&N Federal Credit Union. Welcome home.
And welcome back to Northern Kentucky Spotlight. All right, so I know it is a love-hate relationship many of us have with being healthy and with working out. But these guys are going to tell us why we should love it, right? So this is Kat Mueller, Elisa Hampton, and Daryl Perry. They're here from Results Now in Union. And Kat, let's start with you. Tell us about Results Now. Where is it, what is it, and why should we be interested?
Hi, we are a boutique studio in Union. We do mostly personal training, some small group training, but mostly personals. I don't know, it's great to be healthy. You have to be healthy, and that's I think we kind of fall off that bandwagon as the year goes on, especially from.
It's cold, we have excuses or whatever it might be.
Nobody wants to get out of bed. Nobody
got
wants to
it.
get up to that 5:30 a.m. time slot.
You got it.
So you focus on personal training and like small group classes. Why is personal training the way to go?
So personal training is definitely the way to go, especially in the beginning. Mm-hmm. So instead of going into a gym where you walk in, you don't know what to do, you don't know your form, you don't know how to breathe when you lift. Those types of things are very, very important, and they prevent injuries. And so it's really important to take a couple of personal training sessions at least before you go into any of those types of things. Plus, there's large group fitness everywhere, which is a lot of fun, but at the same time is also sometimes an injury waiting to happen because there's one instructor usually, and there may be 10, 20, 30 people in the class, and so they can't oversee everybody to make sure everybody's form is proper and all of that.
So you're an owner and a trainer, and
Yes.
Daryl and Elisa, you're both trainers as well. So let's talk to you guys about it. What are some of the things that when people come in and they're like, okay, I think I want personal training, I'm not so sure. What do you tell that person, Daryl, when they come in?
Well, I don't know if you've heard this, but when it comes to health and fitness, people want results as soon as possible.
Yeah, it's like today. I've been here 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
So here's the thing. We look at it and saying, okay, if you work with us, whether it's a couple months or a couple years or whatever, it's going to be faster than if you try to do it on your own. And like Kat was saying, I mean, injuries are such a huge thing because when you're in health and when you're trying to get in better shape, you're kind of always testing, okay, where's my level at? Where am I at? Well, if you're doing that on your own, it's not always the safest thing. And if you go too far over, then you risk having setbacks. If you're working with us, we're guiding you along. We're giving you stuff that you can do outside of the sessions. I mean, we really look at this as, we want to meet you where you're at and build something that you're going to be able to do for the rest of your life.
Right, and Daryl is also a certified nutritionist, so that gives you another aspect of your wellness to really, that's probably the hardest.
Yeah.
I mean, the working out aspect, we have you covered there, but again, with the nutrition, and I have an exercise science background, so the programming that's involved with training people for exercise, it's so varied for different people, and we're really lucky that we have a very wide client base. I mean, from high school athletes to men and women in their 40s and 50s. So it's nice getting to work with different kinds of people and a wide background of skills.
So you also do small group training. Why would someone choose small group over like the personal trainer route?
Well, a small group is great because you can still learn and be educated because there's just a few of you.
And
You
how
can-
many are you talking in a small group? How many, what's small?
I would say like 3 to 8.
Okay. Okay.
We try not to go beyond that. If you do 2, that's personal training, really, because you're personal training with your buddy.
Yeah.
You know? But if it's 3 to 8-ish, it's enough that we can still focus on each individual so that there's no injuries, that we can modify for everyone depending on what their issues are, because everybody has something that they need to overcome. You know, whether it's physical therapy issue, something that they had hurt previously. And so it's really important to be able to do that. But as a small group, you can have fun with your friends and not have it, and still get that personalized feel. And of course, then it's cheaper than doing personal training.
It's a good point. There you go. You speak to the bottom line there.
I want to come back to the nutrition part of things. I know that's such a big part. Kind of give Daryl a chance to weigh in on this. What would be the most common mistake that you see people making when it comes to nutrition?
They put foods in categories of good versus bad, and really, again, everything has to be meet you where you're at and build upon it for the future. So while yes, we want you eating your fruits and vegetables, we want you getting some lean protein in, whatever those sources look like for you, we want you getting plenty of water. We also, we know that you like your foods that you like, and you need to be able to build those in. And the thing is, if you take 5 or 6 foods that you could eat any day, or every day, whatever those are, and you list those out, and then you start saying, okay, well, what kind of produce can I eat in addition to this? And you kind of build your own eating plan. We're going to be jazzed about that because it's based around your preferences. If it's based around your preferences, you're going to want to do it consistently. And if you do it consistently, that's where you're going to get those lasting
So it's
results.
not about fitting a mold. It's about the mold fitting you.
Yeah,
Almost. Yeah.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Um,
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Well, that just ties into the fact that there's a lot of diet fads out there, and we try not to do that because that's a quick fix, and we want something that's going to be an exit strategy for you to, have a long-term relationship with.
You guys were mentioning the experience that you have and the certifications you have, and Elisa, Kat mentioned that you do everything from yoga to kickboxing. So you're covering all things. What kinds of classes? What kinds of expectations and experiences should someone have before they come maybe solicit you guys for a little bit of business?
Well, like I said, we have a wide range of skills. I found martial arts a while ago. I have a background with kickboxing, Muay Thai, and I wanted to share that. It feels good to punch and kick things sometimes. And on the opposite end, kind of a nice balance, the yoga, mixed in with working out, gaining flexibility and being mobile, and just stress relief mainly.
Excellent.
It's great for the mind.
Yeah.
And that's key too.
Yes,
You got to work that out as well.
Great.
Exactly.
And you guys get quite possibly the easiest question of the month now.
Gotta say.
So since we're focused on health and wellness, and you guys are here, what is that one thing that you're doing to focus on health and wellness in the new year?
Yeah, what does a personal
What-
trainer do
yeah,
on their personal time? That's a great question.
Just trying to maintain being consistent. It's hard, but just maintaining.
Absolutely. And I think my motto for the studio definitely is everything in moderation. And that goes with exercise as well as nutrition. We tend to cut out things or go too hard on things as far as exercise goes. And really, it's everything in moderation. And that gives you that lasting results.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think the big thing right now, because everybody's getting, it's about mental health and awareness, and really just kind of checking in with yourself. And we're all busy, we all have things going on, and for me it's been, okay, how is it that I can fit everything in and just be pretty balanced, or at least happy with the balance that's going on.
So it's nice to hear that personal trainers have the same issues that the rest of us do. We got to fit it in somewhere. That's right.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much. And again, Results Now, you guys are in Union.
Yes.
Where can folks find you?
We are behind the Heritage Bank off 42.
Excellent. Perfect. You can check them out online as well. Thank you guys so much for
Thank
joining us.
you.
We appreciate it. And stay with us. We got a bunch of headlines to get to. The Business Week in Review is next. CVG Airport is the lowest fare airport in the tri-state region with 54 nonstop flights and direct international service to 7 destinations, including Paris, France, and now home to both DHL's and Amazon's global cargo hubs. The airport is furthering its position as leader in aviation and is deeply committed to being an economic driver for the community. You can learn more and start your next adventure at cvgairport.com. Welcome back to the Northern Kentucky Spotlight, and this is the time when we are going to go somewhat rapid fire, talking about
Yeah, we
all the
got a
fun
lot
stuff.
today.
You know what? And these are some really big, giant headlines this week, headed from right here in Northern Kentucky. Number one, Governor Beshear outlined his first budget. There were 14 years of cuts in the education world in the state of Kentucky, and according to his budget, and again, this is what ends up getting passed is not what he proposed. Let's just be fair, because the legislature is going to have a lot to do with this. But what he's proposing is more money would be headed to education, healthcare, and protecting kids. And we know that protection of kids and child abuse prevention has been a huge thing for him for years. He's calling this budget Education First. His proposal is $2,000 in raises for teachers right now, more money for textbooks, security, more social workers in schools, more preschool in certain areas of Kentucky as well. It would also propose to raise the tax on tobacco. Some of this is not sitting well with members of the legislature, so we'll see. He says it's responsible and balanced, but it will go to the legislature for lots of discussion and then a vote. They promise to have it passed in time for everything to, everything's going to be paid. There will be no shutdown. That's what they're promising by April, so we'll see.
Well, and also he's been promising the Real IDs to be soon. I know that I personally have a friend who was, or actually a relative that was down in Frankfurt trying to get the Real ID, and
How did it work out?
The system was down. The day he was down in Frankfurt for another reason.
Oh,
And
no.
he was like, I'll just go here and get my Real ID. But yeah, it's important to me because my father-in-law lives in Fort Lauderdale,
Yeah,
so
you won't
we're
be
on
able
the
to get on a
plane a
plane.
lot. Yeah, but we'll just have to use our passports. Awesome. Let's see here. New food and beverage options coming to CVG. You know I love new food and beverage options.
Yes, and there's lots of good ones.
Yeah.
8 new ones overall. There's going to be 2 new Dunkin' Donuts, a new taco shop, a larger Chick-fil-A, and what they're really doing, along with inside the airport and out, right? All of Northern Kentucky, it seems like, is going to this, local food source and all of this, and that's exactly what's happening. There's 2 places there that are going to open. One is called Bourbon Kitchen. It'll be regionally focused. There's a bourbon distillery tasting room featuring Kentucky bourbons and a bourbon-inspired localized menu. And you know what's good? When you go to airports in different cities and they have local food there.
Yes.
I love
That's
that
awesome.
because it's like sometimes you don't get out of that airport. You want to at least, say, I drank a
I've
Kentucky
been there.
bourbon. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And also there's a local cafe with regional beers and food that'll open. And this will be next year and then in 2022.
Yeah.
So it's off a little bit, but hey,
Great
good
things
things
happening at
happening.
CVG.
You know it.
NKU opens its doors to the public to check out the 20 classes. Making Teaching Public event will be, it'll take place on February 4th and 5th. Classes range from accounting to construction layout to writing to acting, and a Harry Potter class taught almost exclusively in German. It sounds very
I know. It's
interesting.
funny. I was looking through the listings. I'm like, ooh, Harry Potter class. And then in parentheses, it's like, please note, this is entirely in
If
German.
some of those FC Cincinnati rumors
they would love it. That's
are
true.
true, then you're going to need to know that German to
There
talk to
you
a new player.
go. There you go.
If they're true. And you can it's scheduled on NKU's website.
Oh, yeah, and NKU, more news coming there. Great things happening there as well. A professor there is getting a Fulbright Award. It's the English professor, Kelly Moffitt. She won the Fulbright U.S. Scholar Corps Award. Yes, this is the Fulbright organization that you think of when you think of the Fulbright Scholar, right? She's going to be teaching creative writing in Romania. She's one of only 1,200 U.S. faculty members traveling abroad as part of this Fulbright Scholar program. So it'll happen here soon. And by the way, she's not the first. There's a pretty decent line of Northern Kentucky University professors chosen by the Fulbright organization.
Yep. Art of the Bead opens at the Behringer Crawford Museum. This is kind of a really cool exhibit. It's got 4 of Cher's beaded outfits.
Yes.
I mean, that's crazy for.
And they're the famous ones.
Yeah.
You will recognize them when you see them.
Yeah, I saw the one of the images. If you're watching this on Facebook, that's what's up on the screen right now. I was like shocked that they actually have Cher's outfits there.
And it opens February 4th and runs through May. And maybe the most important news of the day.
This is the best.
Please. Okay, so City Beat does the Best of Cincinnati every year. For some reason, I am nominated for Best Journalist, so please vote for me there. But maybe more importantly, in Best
lot more
Northern
importantly.
Kentuckian, I am in the same category as George Clooney and Brent Cooper. I mean, I don't know how you get any better than that. But yeah, so I do like to say that to people, like, hi, I've been nominated for the same award as George Clooney.
What about Brent Cooper?
I'm just throwing out there, I've lost every year I've gotten in this. But so if you'd like to vote for me or Brent, whatever, he does pay the bills, but whatever, whoever you like better. Also, Michael Monks is in it in both categories, so we should throw that in there as well.
Whoa.
So you can vote multiple times. I'm just going to say once per email address per day. I may or may not have done that. The deadline is Monday, so please do that if you will. I don't want to come in dead last. That's it. I just want to come in dead last. That's all.
Clooney will come in dead last because he's not here.
That's a good point. He can't be a great Northern Kentuckian if he doesn't do the Northern Kentucky spotlight. Then and only then will we accept it. So, George, if you're listening, and I'm sure you are, hey, do you know what time it is? It is time for Jeremy's Chamber Roundup.
Alrighty, we've got lots of stuff going on right now. The Outstanding Women of Northern Kentucky, that's a really great event that we have in the springtime. The nominations to nominate.
That's
The nominations
accurate as well.
are
Yes.
are due tomorrow. So if you have any special women that you think deserve this nomination, please go to our website and go to Outstanding Women Northern Kentucky and click on the nominations link to get them nominated. Also, we have a cool new publication out. It's called Livability, and it's centered around trying to attract talent to the region. It's got
beautiful.
some really great stories.
Yeah.
Looks really great. If you would like copies to maybe show
To
to
recruit
some
some folks, yeah,
people, you can
absolutely.
stop by the Chamber's office and pick some up. Also, there's a digital version. They'll be putting out all kinds of Northern Kentucky content throughout the year, so you can check that out by also, if you go to our website and go to the About, it's About Northern Kentucky, you can find that. Thomas More University, Salute to the Chamber is tonight. Brent's going to accept the award for the Chamber at halftime. It's going to be a great event. I hope to see everybody there. And then upcoming Chamber events, NKYP is having Cocktails and Conversations. Normally they do a coffee morning thing, coffee and conversations.
I was
but
going to say
this
cocktails
time,
in the morning. That
we
sounds
are doing
interesting.
cocktails in the afternoon. So check that out. We also, the Chamber's going on another international trip. This year it's to Spain in November, but there's an informational session on the 6th. And then the next Eggs and Issues is on the 11th, and that one is mental health and our business community. So that should be a pretty interesting program.
Absolutely so, yeah. So all of that stuff for you right there under the events tab on the Chamber's website. Stay with us. We've got 2 more special guests coming up talking about some really great organizations here in Northern Kentucky. So stay with us.
Did you know the Northern Kentucky Chamber can help celebrate your business's grand opening, reopening, or new location with a ribbon cutting? To take advantage of this member benefit, contact the Chamber at 859-578-8800 and ask for Lynn Ablin. Are you looking for talent in Northern Kentucky? Post your jobs to nkychamber.jobs. nkychamber.jobs is the premier job board to search for jobs in Northern Kentucky. Chamber members post your jobs for free and receive exclusive discounts on Find.jobs recruitment products. Sign up today by visiting www.nkychamber.jobs. That's www.nkychamber.jobs.
And welcome back to the Northern Kentucky Spotlight. We're joined right now with Nancy Grayson from the Horizon Community Funds and Jennifer Hunter, the director of the Nurse Advocacy Center for the Underserved. I'll tell you how these two are correlated here in just a bit. So thank you, ladies, first of all, for coming in. Let's first of all start by talking about the NKU Nurse Advocacy Center for the Underserved. You guys got the first prize, $7,500, in the last round of the Northern Kentucky Funders Grants pitch competition. This is health and wellness.
Yes.
So Nancy, you from the Horizon Community Fund, tell us how this works.
So this is an annual pitch competition that we and other funders this year, there were 7 other funders that joined us. We gave away $110,000, and the public came in, the community was able to hear 3-minute pitches from each of the finalists. They were all representing different categories, 2 per category. Our particular category that we funded, Horizon Community Funds, was health and wellness. And so we were super pleased to see that NACU was able to win the $7,500 prize. It's great work, and it was an amazing pitch that night.
Awesome.
So Jennifer, you're the executive director of NACU. Tell us about the program. What do you guys do?
Sure. NACU is an acronym for Nurse Advocacy Center for the Underserved, and it started in 2006 from a nursing student at NKU School of Nursing who did research that said if you bring health care to the underserved, they will access it and take better care of themselves. Fast forward 14 years, NACU we have 4 clinics in Northern Kentucky, all providing nursing services by volunteer nurses, nursing faculty from NKU, and students providing care to the underserved. And so this project that I particularly did a pitch on, it's called Spotlight on Seniors. And NKU and my program collaborated with the Covington Housing Authority, Golden Towers, that's in the big towers that are down in Covington. We actually have now a nursing clinic in the basement at Golden Towers.
Oh, wonderful.
So we provide free of charge. With Nancy's funding, I was able to purchase all kind of medical supplies and things to provide care to the clients there. And so they don't even have to go out anywhere. We're right down in the basement, and we're there on a weekly basis. So the access is open. Okay, you decrease the barrier of transportation, so they don't have to go anywhere. And for those, do you know about Golden Towers? It's poverty level.
Yeah.
And the reason that I chose this center was because there's over 200 senior citizens living there, all at poverty level. So they have many challenges.
Yeah.
Health is a big challenge. They have multiple health conditions that they don't take care of. They might not have health insurance. And some of the people that we have seen so far haven't even seen a doctor in about 10 years.
Wow. And so this was the pitch, Nancy, that sold you, right?
Well,
I mean,
she
I
made it
understand
personal.
why.
Well, three minutes is hard to sing, the song of a mission, not literally sing, but really tell that story and make it human and personal. And it really captured us in terms of the work that you wanted to lead through the program, Jennifer, but also I think there's a lack of centralized supports for senior services right now, and so this was a different way to incorporate health in a very high-need community, and we were really excited to partner and help fund that.
So what's next for NACU in terms of growth and impact?
NACU doesn't have a funding stream. So that's why I was so happy that Nancy chose. If I didn't have that funding, I would not have been able to open it. So I'm so grateful to her. But now, since the program's been up and running about 2 months, and it's going absolutely better than I had anticipated, we actually have a number of things that we're trying to coordinate now with Golden Towers. Bringing different agencies from outside of Golden Towers in the community in to help us provide services. I was just telling Nancy just before, we had pet therapy last Wednesday.
Oh, they love pet therapy.
They
had
had
doggos going.
We had, because also senior citizens suffer from depression or isolation. So I tried to look at the medical side. Yes, we're providing that now. Get your blood pressure checked every week. Get your blood sugar checked. What's your height and weight? Okay? But then there's a mental side to health too, and especially for senior citizens. And oh my God, you should have seen the group of them. They loved it, and the smiles on their faces.
Yeah.
And they actually asked, "Could you come back again to provide this?"
And who knows if that's going to open up an avenue to check, to go to a doctor or to get more wellness checks, and to keep that up for those seniors.
Right.
It's amazing.
So I would like the program to grow a little bit more from the people inside Golden Towers, and that's kind of like our purpose, bringing them more inside to them, because that's the purpose of NACU. We bring things in so they don't have to go anywhere to get that. So, and that's the Spotlight on Senior part.
Perfect. So, Nancy, you mentioned that this health and wellness was what you guys at Horizon wanted to fund. Why is that a priority for you, health and wellness?
And we are a newer community foundation, so we're 2.5 years old now, almost 3 years old. And each year we talk about where are the needs in the community, and there are needs across every different sector you can think of. It's the arts, it's education, it's innovation. But over time, through granting and partner with different nonprofits, with other donors that partner with us, we've seen a huge uptick in support around not only health, but health education and wellness. And so that's something that we want to continue to support. Also, anytime we can partner with other leadership organizations in the community, such as the Chamber or St. Elizabeth, trying to make this the healthiest community and achieve that goal, for us, we want to align with those other partners and leaders in Northern Kentucky. So this was a natural fit for us to say, let's really try to make some impact through NKU and NACU, but really for our local neighbors.
So how are you engaging the community in health and wellness.
And this is interesting, right? I think communication and marketing, you guys do such a great job at it, but it can be challenged sometimes with different organizations. So events often are a good way to engage people on what's happening in the community. And so each year we have been holding a spring philanthropy symposium. This year we are doing this in partnership with other 1NKY growth organizations, the Chamber being one, Regional Alliance, Triad, many of the other groups that are involved, and we're going to share what current initiatives and priorities are and provide data. And one of those key initiatives relates to the healthiest community in the nation goal. And so St. Elizabeth will be sharing with some of their leaders and experts on how we can help close the gap in our community to become more healthy as a region.
Excellent. And before we get to our big question, if people want to help you out, Jennifer, what should they do? Where should they go?
Absolutely. NKU, if you go to the website, nku.edu, in the search button, if you put NACU/Jennifer Hunter, my whole page will come up. And it talks about the mission and the vision and the goals, and there's a donation link that you can click on there.
Perfect.
And there's a list of the top things that we need for the clinic, personal care items. I take donations at any time.
And if you're listening to this on the audio podcast, we'll have it in the show notes. So you can
Perfect.
Wonderful.
Perfect.
Okay.
Excellent. All right, so we're now into that big question of the month.
Yeah.
What is it, Jeremy?
It's
Last one. It's the last one.
Yeah, this one. We got to come up with another one.
It better be.
Okay.
But
Okay.
this one. It's Health and Wellness Month at the Chamber.
Yes.
So what is the one thing that you're doing to focus on health and or wellness this year?
Oh, wonderful. Jennifer, you want to take the lead?
Well, specifically for the Spotlight on Senior program at Golden Towers, we are going to start focusing on nutrition and having nutrition classes for the seniors as a group, talking about this is how many carbs you should have, this is how much protein you should have, because a number of them have diabetes and high blood pressure. But then also on the other end, make neat snacks there. Make snacks so that they can actually taste, okay, well, this tastes good. It doesn't have to be, gross, when you think of healthy food. So as a group, helping them learn this is the nutrition part and this is how you make it into something that tastes pretty good.
Great.
I took it as a personal question,
Yeah.
so
No,
it's nice that
it's
she
fine.
teed it
No,
up with
no.
nutrition because that's my answer. I think it's important to exercise, and I am trying to meditate and do all of these different mindfulness approaches, but I think we all know that really what you eat is so much of who you are in terms of your well-being and your health. So I'm a foodie, if you know who
Yes.
I
Yes,
am
Nancy, you
online,
are.
or if you ever see me out in the public, it's usually I'm talking about food or chefs that I know, new restaurants. And so for me at home, it's been important to try to figure out ways to make things that are tasty and don't always have to be photo worthy for Instagram, but I do
good
like
point.
to keep pics alive, food pics alive. So really looking at less meat, probably fewer refined carbs and sugar is what we've really been trying to do. My oldest is a vegetarian, so trying to win my husband and other daughter over to fewer nights of the week with red meat or other meat in it. But we're getting there, so it's really looking at knowing where your food is coming from and trying to make something healthy and tasty.
Brent went vegetarianism for this year.
You're kidding.
He's still doing it. He's a month
A
in.
whole
He's-
month in?
Wonderful.
He's kicking butt. It's
Wow.
pretty amazing.
He's a better Northern Kentuckian than I
Yeah, me too.
am. Yes, absolutely.
Just seen the burrito ad for a while.
Wait a minute. I'll get to that later. Okay, no. Thank you guys so much for coming in.
Thanks for
We appreciate it.
having us.
Congratulations. Absolutely. And thank you for joining us. Remember, if you like this, and even if you don't, we don't care, hit subscribe. So this way you know when every new episode comes out. Lots of great things are happening here in Northern Kentucky, and we like to share them. So thank you for listening and watching. And we want to thank everybody who helped us out with this. I got to get my big old list up here. Okay, so number one, thanks to Ben Gastrite right there, the brains behind the operation, running the show back there. Our title sponsor, CVG. Our studio sponsor, the L&N Federal Credit Union. All of our guests today. And did I miss anybody?
Guess next week.
Oh, what is it? Who is it? Who we got?
It goes right into that food thing, just the wrong direction.
It's Brent Cooper.
It's
George
y'all,
Clooney.
y'all Hospitality Group.
Nice.
So Fire, Butler's Pantry.
I like it
Bouquet,
already.
Katie Lewis, who was on our show before, she was in a she's actually bringing the chefs in. So the
Nice.
chefs, we're going to talk to the chefs. And then also Little
Nancy,
Flower.
you can come back for that if
Yeah.
you like.
I love Stephen and Mitch. I just
I
saw them
know.
last
I hope they
night.
bring samples.
I hope so too, for your
Hopefully
sake.
you're watching. Katie, get on that. And then Little Flower Bakery is going to
Oh
come in too.
yeah, perfect.
I hope they
perfect.
bring samples.
Yeah, this is good. All right, I'm gonna basically fast for a day before next week's episode. So
Yep.
who knows how that's gonna go in the beginning. Again, thank you guys for joining us, and make sure you share this on Facebook so that all the folks know about the great things going on in Northern Kentucky. And we'll see you here next week.